What's good, Facebook family? It
Hey,
is your boy, Stephen Thomas of Refine Realty. We have brought back Finance Fridays back to live audiences, man.
we need
I
them.
can't tell you how much I have missed um, talking to you guys and talking about wealth building through real estate every week, every Friday. We're going to change it up a little bit going forward. Obviously, we're going to obviously be trying to drop as many gems as possible, but going forward, I'm gonna bring my friends with me. Right. So who I have with me today is one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Chalamaine Armstrong with Gold Financial Services. She is one of the top lenders in the state of Texas, probably in the nation as well.
Thank
Um,
you.
but I felt compelled to bring back the live show just because of the influx of questions and concerns of what's going on with interest rates and and sellers being on the market longer and things like that. And I'm getting tons and tons of questions, so I felt like there was need to come back to just be able to talk about those each week. So um, wanted to bring Charlemagne on because we've had several different conversations about what's going on in the market, the interest rates and things like that. Tell me a little bit about what's changing on your side, Charlemagne.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to come on with you for Finance Fridays because we need this. Is something that is important. We want to educate people. So thank you for having me. So what's changing right now that's helping people out is the fact that, some of the, I even say some of them, all of the, the big finance people, the secondary market are allowing rent now. So FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're now allowing people to qualify based upon them paying their rent on time. So that's huge game
Wow.
changer. As in previous years, we were on a very archaic system and people were not able to receive credit for paying rent on time. And that would probably be one of the biggest things I would hear. But I pay my rent on time. Yeah, I've had some hiccups, but I pay my rent on time. Well, now all these systems are going to see that you paid your rent on time and issue that approval, whereas before it wasn't going to be considered.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. So can you go expand a little bit more on how that affects? Is it going to be put on the credit report, or is it going to be a part of the system that you guys use to get
Right.
approved?
Well, so of course, with technology, Big Brother has a big imprint on what the system is able to see. So if a person is paying their rent and it's being drafted from their bank account, there's I want to say different systems that are in place that can see that. So it can see that automatic rent coming out of the bank account. So now it's going to give credit for that rent. Okay. And it's only going to see it though if the rent is over $350 a month. And if somebody can pay $350 a month in rent, I need to know, who
I
can
would.
pay 350. So there is a trigger in place to track rent that is over $350 a month, and that
Gotcha.
way that person can get credit for it. And it does
So,
have to be 12 months.
so at least 12 months of not being late on rent, and that's going to be another factor that can help get approval. Does
Yeah.
that affect the credit score that is needed to get started?
Well, the credit stores have not changed. It's still very traditional. With FHA, we can get financing all the way down to a 500 credit score, and so as long as that they're paying their rent on time and they have some other positive factors in there, then yeah, they can definitely receive that approval.
Okay.
So they didn't change that. So which I don't know with lower than 500. Yeah, ooh, what are we? But no, so that's the threshold. That's the mark. 500
Okay.
square.
Now, I heard there are some changes coming along with credit reports. Is the mortgage industry also going on with those changes as well?
Yes. So last week, basically, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac said that they were going to allow or change the modules that are being used for issuing credit reports. So it was going to be FICO score 10 and Vantage score 4. And so with those systems, people will receive credit for alternative credit. So for example, Experian, you know, how you can go in there and Experian will go through and check your bank account and see the accounts that are pulled regularly and give you credit for that. Well, now these automated systems are going to be able to see and judge those accounts that are quote unquote alternative credit. So, for example, rent, lights, phone, car insurance, whatever is on a monthly renewal, and would be based, and your service would be continuing based on that payment.
Gotcha. Okay, so they're not going to use the former FICO's 2s, 4s, and 6, which is normally the highest or the
Right.
hardest on your on scores. So they're going to use that newer one. Okay,
Yeah. The out with the archaic model, because that archaic model that was in place for 20 years really doesn't give justice to the people who are in the market now.
gotcha. So what other changes are happening on the lending side that you're
Oh,
seeing?
so what other changes are there? Well, in regards to, you know, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, right? And that's the rates.
Yeah.
That keeps changing. We're all watching, you know, it's like it's young and the restless, right? You know, what's happening next? You know, so, but with that being said, there are some things that we're doing to help people adjust. And that is, you know, we can offer a program where their rate when they close will be 2 points lower than the market rate. So right now, nationwide, the market rate is 7.08. So essentially, someone could close today with a score with an interest rate of 5.08, basically allowing them that first year to adjust with a lower payment than that second year. That interest rate would go up to the 6.08. And then on that third year, it would finish out at that 7.08. And it's a fixed rate loan. It's not an arm, it's fixed rate, but it just basically allows that person to close on their home 2 points below market. And so
Gotcha.
that's really helping homeowners, you know, feel a little bit more comfortable with those, that, you know, the higher rates that are in place now. So that's really big. And a
Gotcha.
lot of
That's
people
nice.
take advantage.
Okay. Talked about other things that you're starting to see. I know for those that have tried to buy a home over the last, let's call it 18 months, you know, it's
Uh-huh.
been crazy prices. It's 10, 20. I've even had as a listing agent $50,000 over asking price. What are you
Yeah.
seeing from your clients now when it comes to the offers? Are you seeing some adjustments on your side as
Oh
well?
yeah, definitely. Sellers are, you know, coming down off some of the prices, and they're willing to pay closing costs even. And so so that's allowing people to get into those homes a lot easier. And of course, because there's not so many people in the market, we're definitely not in a multiple offer situation as we were before. And also, the sellers are accepting all types of financing. Whereas during the pandemic, they were like, oh, we only want conventional. Oh, we only want conventional. And I'm like, what kind of loan you got? Okay. You know, sellers are not being as picky about the type of financing that a buyer is getting. So more people are really, you know, winning their bids and getting sellers concessions and even able to negotiate on the price of the home, whereas they weren't able to do that before. So that gives a lot of power to the people who are in the market and allowing them to, you know, of course, this is something, this an asset that, you know, they're trying to acquire, and that asset is something that's going to allow them to create that wealth, and it's something that you should be able to leverage to help you even build and create other wealth. And so that this is something that's so important, and people are really saying, okay, regardless of the interest rate, they're seeing that, you know, people are making money in real estate. I actually had a conversation with a guy the other day, and he goes, oh, I don't know if I was a believer, but he goes, when I sold my home and I got my six-figure check, he goes, it didn't matter what the interest rate was, because I'm a believer, and I wouldn't have gotten that from any other investment that I would have made. So people need to understand, in this market, it truly is an investment, and it's an investment with a return.
Beautiful. Last question, and I'll let you kind of wrap it up because you know, I don't like to stay on here long. For
Uh,
those that are on the fence or may come to you say, hey, is it now is a good time to buy? What would be your answer to them?
I would tell them yes, because our market is still very strong. You know, Texas is a different it's a different animal, so to speak. You know, in Texas, when you close on your house, you know, your name is on the deed. Now the bank holds the deed until you pay off the mortgage, but you truly have the deed. And so not, you know, not very many states offer that. So you can really say, I own this. Secondly, again, it is something that is going to appreciate. And then, of course, while you're making your payments, that mortgage is going to go less and less and less. So you really have what's called a silent savings. And that's how people are able to sell their homes and walk away with money. Whereas if you're renting, you can say, okay, I'm just holding out, because I just want to watch the market turn. But when you're renting and watching the market, you're not making any money off of those dollars. Those dollars are only benefiting the seller. And another thing I just thought about, I made a post about this yesterday, is that in this market, 60% of the people who are receiving eviction notices is not because they didn't pay their rent on time. It's because the sellers are selling their homes.
Mm.
And that's deep. So you want to put your family in a position to where you're not displaced because the seller is saying, hey, I need to go ahead and pull my money out this market and walk away with it. And not to say that you want to be the landlord, but you want to be in that home and be making your payments and really be in a place that you are controlling the outcome by making your mortgage payments.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, Chalamaine, thank you for joining me today for the first episode back. Thank you for dropping a few gems on us today. For those that want more information about what you talked about, how can they get in touch with you?
So they can call me 214-738-4913. I'm on all the social media, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all of them under Chalamaine Armstrong. And, just know that, our mortgage company really focuses on really doing a custom mortgage. And that custom mortgage is set to fit your needs because not one mortgage fits everybody and not everybody's credit score is the same. So with that being said, we're definitely here wanting to talk with you guys and work through whatever it is that you feel may be of concern. And typically, when we're concerned, we're our worst critics and it's really not that bad.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy, Stephen Thomas with Refine Realty with my special guest, Chalamaine Armstrong of Gold Financial Services. We are back. We're going to be here today. We were at a special time at 9:30, but going forward, we're going to be back at our normal time at Fridays at 10 o'clock. We're going to have more info, more special guests. We're going to have more tips and tricks to make sure you are building wealth through real estate.
Right. That's right.
As always, it's your boy, Stephen Thomas of Refine Realty, where the knowledge is free, but the advice is priceless.
There you go. Bye, y'all.